Good morning to Tina Arena.
Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Look, I'm going to be cranky at first. I'm cranky with... You've just signed with EMI.
I have. I'm just trying to deal with them. Yeah.
I know the record industry is in chaos at the moment. I'll tell you one thing. They're releasing a new Cliff Richard album this week, and Cliff's decided to allow it to be downloaded. Have you heard about Radiohead allowing people to pay whatever price they wanted to buy the record on the internet?
No, I haven't read about that, but I'm sure I'll be informed.
Well, Cliff decided that he would do the same, and I think he might be having second thoughts because it's just been announced that something like 65% of all those people who downloaded Radiohead paid nothing at all for it. They got them all free. Now, the record industry is in an amount of chaos at the moment, and but I'm just a bit cranky because EMI have been neglecting us, so that's not a good start.
No, it's not a good start. And I will make sure that something changes there because that's not really cool.
This interview now gets worse because I'm going to tell everybody you were 40 last week. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I tell you
and it's just as well I'm comfortable with it. Because otherwise I'd be pretty cranky and walk out of your studio, and that wouldn't be really nice, would it?
I'd make the front pages, perhaps. But we're not into those gimmicks anymore.
No.
Been there and done all that.
That's right.
Now, I tell you why I mentioned that, because my era remembers Patti Page, the singing rage. Have you ever heard of her? Patti Page.
No.
Well, she is 80, big 80 today. She's not performing anymore, but she was part of our lives back. Have you heard of the Tennessee Waltz?
Yes.
I was dancing. That was Patti Page.
Was it really?
You're exactly half her age, and according to the papers today, and you can always believe the papers, you're pregnant.
Oh yes, I love that. Well, it's really interesting because last night we played the record for a bunch of different media, radio and print and so forth, and TV people. And the first thing I did say, because the record company did warn me and say, look, there's some rumours going around saying that you're pregnant. I said, well, I can easily squash that. I said, I'll go up on stage with a glass of alcohol. If pregnant women don't drink, well, I certainly wouldn't anyway. No. So, lo and behold, in true IQ style, I get up on stage with the glass of alcohol and everybody, and I wake up this morning reading that I'm pregnant. So, I mean, journalists, once again, you know... It's
terrible. It's very difficult living in the pub, particularly these days. It's got far worse than when you started. How long ago was it you sang on Young Talent Time?
It's 1977 my career started.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
You were 10.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Johnny Young?
Very occasionally, Bob. Very.
He certainly gave a lot of people a great start, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Absolutely.
Now, it's been a little difficult to follow your career. I know you've had huge success on the stage in musicals. Would you name just some of them?
Chicago was the most recent, April, May of this year in London. Notre Dame de Paris, London, Dominion Theatre, year 2000. Cabaret, playing Sally Bowles, 2003, State Theatre, Sydney. 1987, 9, with John Diedrich.
That'll do. That's very impressive already.
Joseph.
But you sort of, Joseph, that's right. Joseph and the Amazing. But you sort of disappeared. Do you live in Paris?
I've spent a lot of time in Paris, Bob. I commute between Paris and London. My main residence is London.
Now, you married a man with a famous musical name, but I don't think he's related to Henry.
No, he's not.
Mrs. Mancini.
No, well, I'm not technically married.
Oh, you're not. You've got a little boy aged 2.
I do. We have a little man.
When we were at school, he was a bastard.
Oh, this is getting more pleasant by the second, isn't it? Yes, apparently.
I bet there are times you or your husband have called him a little so-and-so.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, those things happen as parents when you're tested, but... No, we have a beautiful little boy who will be 2 years old on the 17th of this month, and he is the joy of our lives.
They can be, can't they?
They can be, absolutely.
I walk along my street. Why did you choose To Sir With Love?
It was such an extraordinary piece of music and such an extraordinary piece of film. And also, you know, I like that you know, certainly in today's education in the system, there is very little respect for your teachers, isn't there?
Absolutely.
And I remember being, you know, I was a 1980 to 1985 student, and I remember actually really genuinely digging my teachers. I had a science teacher, Mr. Ludigans, who was a little Indian man who was the most adorable man. He used to get put up with so much from us girls. But of course we were always very, very nice to him. But I think that the song represents and speaks about something that's fundamentally, I think, we've lost, and it speaks about the respect.
Nicely said. Yes, there are many things we've lost.
Yes, there are many things we've lost, and that's the reason for this collection of songs and these collection of stories, is to perhaps recapture some of those fundamental essences that we've lost in the years that have gone past.
Songs of love and loss.
I mean, there are people that I pay tribute to. Dusty Springfield, I do Look of Love, I Just Don't Know What to Do With Myself, I do Carole King's You're So Far Away, which is a beautiful piece of writing. Kate Bush's Man with a Child in His Eyes, Diana Ross's theme from Mahogany, Sweetest Hangover, Everybody Hurts by R.E.M.
That's wonderful.
It's a really interesting cross-section of songs and beautiful messages, and I just thought that they were stories that need to be reheard, retold.
Would you ask EMI to make sure we get a copy of it?
I will do even better than that. I'll make sure they have a box couriered to you in the next couple of hours. How's that sound?
Tina, Arena, it's wonderful to talk to you. Sorry if I've sounded provocative, but I was just in the mood.
I love a bit of provocation, though.
Congratulations on your great continued success.